An ally of the lumpy pillow magnate, Mike Lindell, just got her lawsuit tossed by a federal judge. Embattled former Colorado elections official Tina Peters had attempted to sue Attorney General Merrick Garland in order to try to shut down a federal investigation into her potential identity theft, intentional damage to a protected computer, and conspiracy. She is also accused at the state level of tampering with election equipment, attempting to influence public servants, and engaging in official misconduct by allowing an unauthorized third party to make copies of voting machine hard drives, leading confidential digital images of county Dominion voting systems equipment and passwords to be published on the internet. Peters, however, said, "No, you!" and accused Garland of the Department of Justice of trying to silence her by simply asking questions about the legitimacy of the 2020 election. Yes, yeah, I was just asking questions. Why are you coming after me? Now, hold on here. There were 60 lawsuits in which these questions were adjudicated in a court of law. The arguments from those who had brought those lawsuits were, well, let's just say that they were left wanting by the court, all right? Not good arguments. No substance, no proof, no fraud. That, of course, look, Mike and his friends did not care about that. They, again, their mantra is,
just forget about the evidence.
And that's what they've done. Her lawsuit, in which she, by the way, also sued Colorado Secretary of State Janet Griswold, as well as Mesa County District Attorney Daniel Rubenstein, was not received well by the court. In fact, U.S. District Judge Nina Wong, who deferred to a ruling by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit with regard to a similar lawsuit filed by Mike Lindell. The judge quoted the appeals court ruling, which stated, quote, "While he has at times attempted to assert otherwise, Lindell's objective in this action is apparent. This litigation is a tactic to, at a minimum, interfere with and at most enjoin a criminal investigation and ultimately hamper any potential federal prosecution related to his or others' involvement in the public disclosure of forensic images of Mesa County's election management servers. Affording such relief is not only contrary to the purpose of the preliminary injunction, but would open the door to a deluge of similar litigation by those under criminal investigation." So, yeah, basically, hey, you can't use a lawsuit to try to block a criminal investigation. That's not going to work. That is unacceptable. And she also pointed to former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort's attempt to sue the DOJ while making that same point. He tried to sue the DOJ to block an investigation. She tried to sue the DOJ to block an investigation. Lindell tried to sue the DOJ to block an investigation. Oops. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Now, she also had found Peters' First Amendment arguments lacking as well in, of course, substance. For example, she said Ms. Peters' assertion that the government announced its intention to deter free expression through a program that treats any individual who questioned the legitimacy of the 2020 presidential election as a, quote, domestic violence extremist, the judge wrote, is wholly unsupported by the allegations and evidence on which plaintiff relies. Once again, what evidence? Exactly, she didn't present any. But
just forget about the evidence.
Once again, now, Wong also quoted the Eighth Circuit one more time for good measure, writing, plainly, the Attorney General's statement is not the government threatening retaliation for speech or association, but is instead the government threatening criminal actions against people who are alleged to have violated federal law in their efforts to pursue audits. So, with that, the judge tossed out the lawsuit without prejudice, by the way. So that means she can bring it back later if she wants. And knowing how these people operate, there is a good chance that she'll be back later with another pointless lawsuit. All right, well, have fun with that. Okay. The thing is, they can't let it go. These election deniers can't let any of this go. Not just the whole BS election fraud claims, which have been debunked, disproven over and over and over again, and will continue to be ad infinitum. Doesn't matter how many times it's been disproved. they continue to hold on to it as an article of faith. The other thing that they're never going to let go is you're coming after us and punishing us for just asking questions. Well, no. Look, asking questions isn't illegal, but that is not what these people have been doing. They have been alleged to have broken into computer systems, stolen passwords, and tampered with election infrastructure. Those are very serious things. And they all did these alleged things in order to try to prove their batshit claims. Which the funny part is, by the way, they still, even doing all these things, found no actual proof, no actual evidence. As I said before, they don't need evidence. Lindell has been, for example, passing off random code as so-called evidence for years with this ridiculous cyber symposiums, right? And guess what? The election deniers still eat it up like the pigs at the trough, okay? Eating up that slop. So it looks like as much as we would love to be done with them, these election deniers are unfortunately here to stay.